So let's start our third session on basics, the final one, in which we are going to talk about the remaining topics, and the basics part would be sum up. So let's try to talk about something called symbolic link. Generally, these links are shortcut files, what we are going to maintain. But in this link, we have two types of link. One is soft link, that is going to be a shortcut file, and the another one is hard link, which is going to be a backup file. The thing is, in case of soft link, if the original file is deleted, then the link is broken and the data is lost. Obviously, assume that you have data in C program files and you have kept the shortcut on desktop. If I remove the data from program files, then obviously the shortcut file will become invalid and it does not have any importance to me anymore. But when it comes to hard link, even if the original file is deleted, still the link contains data. That's the reason it's a backup file, and the other one is just a shortcut file. Inode number of source and the link are different, whereas inode number of both files are same. Now over here, let's try to understand what is this inodes. Inodes basically stands for index node. When you create a file, with every file, a series of inodes will be generated and attached to it. These inodes or index nodes will be helping your file system to find exactly where your data is kept on the hard drive, so that easily it can access the data for reading as well as writing purpose. Guys, many of the books are the best example for this. Like, it might be a textbook or novels, whatever it might be. You see, the initial pages, one of the page will contain index that will help you to find out that which chapter is kept on which page number, so that easily you can go to that particular page and you can find out that what is written where and where to find what. So the same thing would be helped by these inodes. Whenever you create a file, the file would be given one inode for its identification, so that it can be easily identified by file system that where this particular file is kept. So whenever you are searching for a file, these inodes will help you to go to exact location where your file is kept and maintained. So these inode number of source and link file is different when it comes to soft link, whereas in case of hard link, the inode number of both files, original file and the link file, will be same. One more requirement is soft link cannot be created, soft link can be created, across the partitions. For example, if I talk about Windows, your original file can be in C drive and the link file can be in D drive. So you can create this across the partitions. Whereas when it comes to hard link, the source as well as destination should be kept inside same partition. You cannot create the link across the partition because of the hardware limitation. If the partition changes, then the inode of other partition will be different than the inode available in this partition. So these two inodes cannot be matched, and the hard link may not work in that scenario. So if the file is kept in the same hard partition, then the inode remains the same and they may be able to have link between them. So basically, hard link cannot be created across partitions, whereas soft link can be created across partitions. As far as sizes of these files are concerned, size of link file is equal to number of characters in the name of original file. I'll show you this practically. That means the original file has some name like my file. My file contains 6 letters MYFILE. So the size of link would be 6 KB, something like that. Hard link, the size of original and backup both would be same. Let's see practically that how to create these links in our Linux environment. Let me just clear out this thing and let's come out of this and let us log in into our Red Hat machine. Okay, so yesterday we have created several files. One of that we can take it out over here, like we've got testing. So I'd like to create a soft link for testing and I'd like to keep it either in the same folder or separate folder across the same partition. I'll keep it in the same folder. So to create a soft link, we have a command called ln-s original file which you want to make link for and the destination where you want to create a link. So I'll go with the command ln-s for soft link. I'd like to create a link for a file called testing and I'd like to paste it with the name called soft or any name of your choice, whichever name you would like to give. Now do ls. You see the colors are saying you something. You see that there is a file created soft with green color. So as I've told you that in Linux environment we have fortunately this color coding to understand, but in other Unixes it may not be there. So if you run ls-l, you see that soft is starting with L. That means it is a link file. And this soft file is pointing towards a file called testing. In testing, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. And you see the size of this file is 7 KB. So actually it would just be total number of characters, the size would be same. But it is a link. If you say cat testing, you'll get same information. If you say cat soft, you'll get same information. If you add data to soft, or if you edit this file, for example, I'll delete some lines, dd, 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 save it. Now, if you read cat soft, the changes are done. Read cat testing, you see the changes are done. So basically it is just a link file. If I open that link, it is navigating me to original file testing. So if I make any changes in soft, obviously it is going to get affected to the original file. And if I add anything in original file, it is going to replicate to the link file. For example, I'll say link and let me save and quit, read the original file and read the link file. So you see, actually whatever I am doing on original is being seen on the link. Obviously it is pointing towards the original. Now let's find out inode numbers. As we discussed that the inode number of original file and the link file may be different. The question here is how to know the inode numbers. And the answer is you need to run ls minus li, ls hyphen li, whatever you say, enter. So it will start showing you first with inode numbers. So you see we've got our file called soft whose inode number is 2063, whereas the testing file has 4992. So totally the inode numbers are different. This is where the soft link works like this. It is just a link file, can be created across partitions. Inode numbers of both original and link are different, and the size of link is derived from number of letters in your original file. Also, if I remove original file, then link will be waste for me. For example, if I say rm-f testing and do ls, you see that green has went to red because it has lost its link. If I check ls minus l and soft, you see it says I am missing my original file. Try reading this file cat soft. It says I can't find the original one. So this is the thing that we have in your soft link. If original file is deleted, link will be of no use. Whereas if we work on hard link, let me create a file for us. For example, I'll say vim my file. I'll say test for hard link and let me escape it to come out of insert mode. Let me copy yy and let me paste it ppp. Finally colon wq exclamation to save this file. Now you see I've got a file called my file that contains some data inside it. Now this file I'd like to create a link, hard link. And how to create a hard link? Command still remains the same but without any flag. So over here the command would be ln source file and the destination. Where would you like to paste it or create it with what name? Earlier we used ln minus s. Now we have to use ln only without any flag. So let us do it. We'll go back to our terminal. I'll say ln my file. I would like to create a link. This time maybe I'll call it hard. These names soft and hard I am giving from my own. You can give any names of your choice. Don't think this is a syntax what I have to give. Now if I say ls, you see that my file is created and hard file is created. Both are behaving as independent files. They're not even pointing out as a link. And even if I say ls minus l, you see that here hard is also showing me as a normal file. It starts with hyphen. And my file is also showing as hyphen. They are not even having any link symbol to identify. Then how can I identify whether they are same or not? The only thing that can tell you is the inode number. So if I say ls minus li, I'll check out the inode number first for my file and let me do the same thing for hard. You see the inode numbers are exactly same and they are linked. Now if I try adding something on my file, for example, vim my file, add some data, adding data from original file. Let me save and quit. Read the file, my file. I've got same data. Read the link file. I still got same data. If I try adding the data from link file, let's say vim hard, and let me say adding data from link file. Let me save and quit. Read the link file first, added the data. Read the original file now, still it contains same data. So here they are linked. They are linked, the inode number are same, and if I update original or link, both are showing me same data. Advantage of hard link is if I delete original file. For instance, I'll say rm-f my file. You see, still hard is not losing link. And if I say cat hard, I still got my data. So like that, you have to create a soft link and you have to create a hard link. Where hard link provides you backup, soft link is just a shortcut for easy access of your data. Same like Windows shortcut on desktop. Let's move ahead and let's try to talk about regular expressions, pipelines, and IO redirection, in which the first thing we are going to talk about is Grep. Grep stands for Global Regular Expression Print. Generally, Grep is to pick out a particular word in your file and display that instead of displaying the whole output of your file. For example, you have a file with more than 100 lines. I don't want to see the whole 100 lines. Out of that 100 lines, I want to see a particular line or lines that contains a specific word. So it's kind of filtering what I'm doing. For example, let's say you have a file in your system called etc password. If you see that, it's quite lengthy, quite big. I don't want to see the whole output. Instead of seeing the whole output, I want to pick out a word, and wherever that word is there in the file, that line should be displayed. For that purpose, we would be using grep. And to use grep, we've got a command grep, the word you want to grep, from which file you want to grep. Grep for a word in the file. So it is going to show you only those lines that contains that particular word. For example, I'd like to look for a word called root in file etc password. So I'll run grep the word called root in the file etc password. Guys, let me tell you that this etc password is a file that contains user information, like how many users are there in your system would be available in this file. So I'm just checking out whether root user is there or not, and absolutely it is there. So you see, instead of showing you the whole 30-40 lines output, it is now only showing me those lines that contains the word called root. So I have easily filtered out and I have seen only those lines which I need to see instead of seeing the whole thing. Similarly, you can avoid case sensitivity in a file. For example, let me explain you what I want to convey. Let me go to a file called hard. Let me remove these lines dd, 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 and let me copy this and paste it. Test for hard link, test for hard link. So let me change certain things over here. I'll make this test as test in small letter, and the other one I'll say T and then E capital ST, something like that I'd like to do. And some other lines I'd like to add out over here. For instance, let me add many things again. I'll say grep testing and test for grep, something like that. Now this file contains same line with different format. So if I say cat hard, you see there is written test in capital, test in small. One is starting with small te, then capital ST. Grep is starting with capital GREP, another capital GR small EP. So what I want to do, if I run a command called grep test from a file called hard, so it is going to show me only the case in which I have given. Over here I have given in small letters, so it is picking only small letters. It is not picking up capital letters. So what I want to do now, I want to remove this case sensitivity, whether it might be caps or whether it might be small. It should display in one. So in this scenario, what I'll do is I'll run grep -I. I'll make it case insensitive. Whether it is capital or small, wherever it finds test, it should find out. So I'll say grep -I test hard. You see, wherever it is finding test, whether it is capital or small, it is now displaying it. So this is case insensitivity. So this is how we can use the grep command to combine with either the capital letter or small letter to remove the case sensitivity and display wherever test word is used or any word, whichever you want to find out. Now, if you want to see that particular word and two lines after that word, so we want to see a word called root, for example, and also I want to see two words, two lines after that. Then we would be using grep -n, n to show numbers, a after, 2. How many lines would you like to see? Which word you want to find out? In which file would you like to find out? Like in this example, I'm looking for a word called wheel in the file etc group. Now, before I can show you this, let me show you the role of n. See, n can also be used with cat command. If I say cat and hard, it is showing me this file. If I say cat -n and hard, it will display numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Also, you can use this numbering concept in VI editor also. If I say VIM hard, and if you want to display numbering over here, then you have to use colon, and there is an option SE space NU. SE for set, NU for number. it is going to show you line numbers. This is not going to impact your file. It is only for identification. It is not going to get saved in your file. It is just for displaying purpose, that how many lines are there. Now, if you don't want to see that line numbers, then you can remove it also by again going into colon and say SE no NU. SENU, SE no NU. So like that you can set line numbers or you can remove line numbers in VI editor. And in the same fashion with cat command also you can display line numbers by using cat minus n and the file. So it would display out line numbers. So the same minus n is used in your grep command. You can run a command grep minus n to display line numbers and lines after. How many lines? After two lines. After a word called wheel from a file etc group. This file can be any file of your choice. I am taking an example of etc group. You can take any file as your example, existing file. Enter. So you see it says that I've got a line 11 that contains word wheel, and after that there are two lines 12 and 13. One is CD-ROM, other is mail. Similarly, if I want to see a word wheel and two lines before it, then I'll go for grep NB2 before the word two lines to be displayed. So you see it says line number 11 and before that 10 and 9. So like that you can find out, you can pick out anything, and after that you can see n number of lines. I have taken two lines as example. You can say any lines as your example. Then there are other things also what you can do, like you don't want to see a particular word in the file, except that you want to see anything. Then we can run the command grep minus v. For example, in my line, in my uh, file, I don't want to see a particular line. Maybe I don't want to see small letter test. Then I'll say grep minus v test in a file called hard. So you see it has displayed capital letter test, combination test, and grep testing, but it has not shown me wherever small letter test is there. So except this word, if you want to see anything, then you can use grep minus v, the word which you want to neglect, and the file name. Also, you can display a particular word in color by using grep hyphen hyphen color. So that particular word would be displayed in color. Like for example, grep hyphen hyphen color, the word is root in file etc password. So that particular word is displayed in color. Even if we don't give that color also, you see it is displaying in color only. So it's an optional thing. Even if you don't mention, it is the same. Also, grep command can be combined with other commands also. For example, I run a command called cat etc password, that is displaying the whole output. So what I want to do, from the output of etc password, I want to grep something. So I can use a pipe symbol cat etc password, and I'm giving a separator called pipe. Pipe is a connector that will allow you to run two commands one after the other. So where what happens is, after executing first command, the output of first command will become input to second command. So I'll say cat etc password. I'm telling that take output of this file, and from the output run grep command. You can use grep or grep-i and a particular word to find out, that is nobody. Now when I hit enter, you see what it did. The output of etc password has become input for grep. Taking the output of password, it has filtered and it has shown me only the word containing nobody. So like that, we can add multiple commands in one line by using pipe. So first command's output will become input to second file. So let's continue now. So this is how we are going to combine grep command with any other command. Many commands are there with which we can combine grep, and we can use it by using a connector called pipe. Let's move to our next filtering commands. Very interesting commands, guys, where we are going to talk about some commands like less, more, head, tail, sort, cut, and sed. Less, more are quite similar. Head, tail are quite similar. Let me first talk about less. Guys, just now I shown you that the output of some files may be very huge. So if I say cat etc password, the output goes very lengthy. So I probably skipped out what was there at the top. What I want to do now is I'd like to pause my output, where either I'll see line by line or I'd like to see page by page output if my file contain multiple pages. So I can use the command called less and the file name etc password. So when I use this command, you see it is first displaying page number 1 and it has stopped over there, so that I can continue with my pace. If I want to see line by line output, I can use enter, 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 and it will show me line by line. Or if you want to go page by page, then you can use D for down and B for back. So D will take you next page, B will bring you back. And to come out of less, you can use Q. One more time, same thing with the help of more. If I say more etc password, it is also going to show me the same way. To go line by line, use enter, 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 enter. To go back, B. To come down, D. And to totally quit, Q. So this is how your less and more would be working. It would simply pause the output on first page, and one after the other it is going to display line by line or page by page. Up to you, how would you like to see the output. Also, if a page is too lengthy and you don't want to see the whole page, maybe you want to see only top 10 lines, then you can prefer using head and the file name, that is etc password. So it is going to show only top 10 lines: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Similarly, if you would like to see bottom 10 lines, then you can say tail etc password. So it is going to show you bottom 10 lines: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Head will show you top 10 lines, tail will show you bottom 10 lines. Let's say I'm not interested in 10 lines. I want to see top 3 lines, bottom 4 lines. How to give specific number instead of default? So I'll use head minus number of lines. For example, I'd like to see only 3 lines. From which file? etc password. So only top 3 lines would be displayed. Similarly, tail etc password, bottom 4 lines would be displayed. Now all this 4 commands, less, more, head, tail, you can again combine it with other commands. For example, cat etc password, use pipe, and add more. So it would also work in the same fashion. Either directly use more and the file to see line by line, or cat pipe more, cat pipe less, or similarly you can say cat etc password head, it would show you top 10 lines, or directly say head file name. Multiple techniques and multiple methods are there to use this thing. Either use them as independent command or take the output from other command and give it as input. In both ways it is going to work in the same manner. Now we have something called sort command. As the name itself is telling you, it would be allowing us to arrange the output in a proper order. Basically what happens, guys, if you see, take any file, for example I'll take hard. It might be proper or improper as per alphabetical order. You see, it is starting with T, 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 then G. But as per the alphabetical order, G should come above and T should come below. To see the proper sorted order, you can simply run a command sort and the file which you want to sort hard. So when I hit enter, it will try to arrange the output as per the alphabetical order. Like G should come first, then it is using small t followed by capital T. And let me tell you that this sorting has only been done on output. Your original file is unintact, untouched, it still remains the same. So there is no change whatsoever in your original file. It still has same data, same thing. Only output has been modified and showed you that as per the sorting it should be like this. So no need to worry about data. Your data will not be impacted or changed. Similarly, if you would like to arrange the output or if you would like to sort the output as per numeric order, let me create that condition. Let me go to hard file and let me assign some numbers to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines are there. So let me give it number randomly 5, and maybe 3, then 2, then 4, then 1. Some randomly I'm arranging the thing 5, 3, 2, 4, 1. Now what I want to do is I want to arrange this output, or I want to see this output as per numbering, as per the digits, or as per the human readable value. So I'll use the command sort -h, where h stands for human readable, and the file which I want to test the sorting is hard. So you see, the output is arranged as per the numeric value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And though the original file again has not been changed, only the output will be displayed in the manner it should be according to sort command, just to check the sorting or order. Similarly, sometimes you may be having few lines repeating a lot. Let me create that situation also. Let me remove that numbers, and let me keep some unique lines two times, like this test for hard link. I'll keep it 2 times. Grep, I'll keep it 2 times. Good evening, I'll keep it 2 times. Let me say YY and paste. So now you see that in this file there are few lines which are repeating. Test is repeating 2 times, grep is repeating 2 times, and good evening is repeating 2 times. So I want to see only unique lines. The lines which are repeating, I want to see it only one time. I don't want that repetition to be displayed. To see only the unique lines, you can use the command sort -u and the file name. So we'll go with the command sort -u to remove the duplicate entries and see only unique lines. File name hard. So you see, instead of displaying the same line again and again, it is only displaying it once. And again, only output has been modified. The original file has not yet changed. Also, we've got one more command called cut command. I hope guys sorting is clear. Are you with me guys? Are you able to follow this concept so far, whatever we have done? Let's continue. Now let's try to see something called cut command. Guys, whatever command I'm going to show you, like sort, cut, or maybe set, all these commands are output modifier, output displaying modification, all that thing. Original files may not get impact with this command. Only output will be drafted or crafted in such a way which you want to see. Assume you have a file with number of fields. For example, employee database or employee table, where you can see that you have employee names, employee email IDs, employee emergency contact, employee mobile numbers, employee's blood group, employee salary. So multiple fields are there. What I want to do is, instead of seeing the whole output related to every employee, the requirement of mine is to see employee name and employee ID. Only two things. Or employee name, employee ID, and employee telephone number. How I'm going to do that? Let me show you guys. We will use cut command. For example, I'll take example of this file called etc password, a wonderful file for this example, where you see it contains lots of field. Some name is there, then X is there, then numbers are there, then something is written. So it has number of fields over here. What I want to do is I want to see only first field and maybe the last field. So how to cut the output and see only those two fields? This is where the cut command comes into the picture. And to use cut command, we've got a syntax called cut. But with cut, you need to set something called a delimiter. Guys, basically delimiter is a symbol that you are going to mark as the end or the beginning of the field. For example, in this file, you'll see there is something which is repeating, that is colons. First field is ending with a colon, then other field is ending also with a colon. 107 is ending with a colon. So I am going to use these colons as my marks to set that these colons are the end of my fields. These are the limits of my field. So wherever you see colon, understand this as the field end. So I'll say cut the command by using a delimiter called colon, and I'd like to display field. Which field? Probably I want to display only one field, field number 1 from the file etc password. So when I hit enter, you see instead of displaying the whole file, it is displaying only one field to me. And even in this file, if you want to pause the output, you can combine it with more. So you can go line by line. So these commands are really helpful filterable commands which allows you to see exactly what you want to see and how you want to see. Similarly, you can see two fields at a time. Like I would like to see field number 1 and maybe field number 3. So I'll repeat it. कौन उंगली करे वहां से जाके प्रोनेट को. So as I was talking about that, I would like to see two fields now. I'd like to see field number 1 as well as field number 3. What I'll do is I'll repeat the same command, cut. I'll use the delimit as colon, and I'd like to see field number 1, comma, field number 3. So when I hit enter, you see it is displaying field number 1 as well as field number 3. Or you can see three fields together, field number 1, field number 3, field number 5. Or you can see field number 1, field number 5. Whatever you want to do, you can check it out. These are only output modification thing. So what we saw just now was how to take output of this particular file or output of any command into new file, where you saw that I used set command, I made the change, and I have taken the output in out file, and you see cat out, I've got this thing. Then same thing, you can append it. Instead of evening, I made it morning, and I use double greater than to store it in out. So instead of overwriting, it has added the new change into this file. So you can take the output into new file, or you can append the output into existing file. Then we look for find command. As I've told you, find command is a search command. By using find command, you can find any file in the system by its name, by its number, inode number, type, user, or group. Where we just saw the example, like you can look out for a file. For example, you can say find in the whole operating system a name of the file. It will perform a search and it will tell you where is that file. Or you can find out a file by its inode number. It will tell you where is that file. You can say find a file by a username. It will search and tell you all the files that belongs to that user. Or you can find out by a group, or you can find out a file by a particular type of file. It can be a character file, it can be a block file, link file, whatever it might be. So that would be it, guys, for today. Then we will stop here, and tomorrow we'll see the remaining thing, and then we'll move to next chapter. So we'll stop here, guys. Let's meet up tomorrow. Thank you very much.